The second one is defund the police.
Okay.
What is it about defund the police, Catherine?
Um, well, for one thing, leftists don't really make arguments, they make threats, right? They don't argue, they harass. So part of that is that they want less law and order. As I think somebody mentioned this earlier, that the wokeism depends upon basically playing different groups, different classes, or different perceived classes against each other, right? Playing rich off against poor, playing different perceived races against each other. And so to do that, they have to have more chaos, less law and order. And so, of course, one way that they can just practically sow more division and also ensure that they can do sow division in a way that is against the law is to defund the police, to attack the institutions that maintain law and order in society.
Nice, nice. Ben, what would you think defund the police is all about?
Um, well, I think it is about sowing division. I think it also dovetails with the overall creation of a situation that's called anarcho-tyranny. I didn't make up that term, but it essentially means that the law still exists and the police still exist, but they are selectively enforce the law depending on political whims. So it's not that the police are defunded. The federal police are better funded than ever, and they're aimed at domestic terrorists, white supremacists, whatever the buzzword is. The DHS, Homeland Security, has said that domestic terrorists are the #1 terror threat. And they've stepped, obviously, if you've been paying attention to like the January 6th stuff, it's not that there aren't police and there isn't enforcement of the law such as it exists. It's that it's very selectively enforced, and like urban crime, which would generally be combated by local police at the local level. That's where the discussion about defunding the police is had. And I think of all this stuff, it relates to the open border conversation. I think of it as scaling up the level of the locus of control away from the local level to the national level and eventually to the multinational level. So well-funded local police that are controlled by the local population would be a threat to this objective. So I think that's what a lot of it has to do with.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. And what would you say, Greg? What is behind, or what is it about defund the police that the woke seem to like?
Well, authority is evil since it restricts our individualism. So the only ethical approach is to based on social status, social credit, also known as equity. And police follow these outdated principles of right and wrong. They apply authority based on principles that are defined in advance and not relative to the needs of the community. So, and they focus on particular cases and facts, and then apply these antiquated system, principles of justice, reward, punishment. And this is the kind of thinking that they think needs to be eradicated and should not be funded. So, it's got to be a group application of principle, and police tend to focus on the facts of particular cases.
Oh, that's nice. That's a really great answer. I've written my answer down like I am throughout the show. And I'm going to say that defund the police is about depopulation.